What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious here, and I am here for another edition of your favorite series. Here we go, and as you can tell, I'm feeling a lot better. Finally, kind of getting over the sickness a little bit, so still got a cough, so you might have to deal with that a little bit. Hopefully, I could edit that out. But we're back. One thing that is certain is that we're over the sickness, but the team is not. Because this week, once again, we got another sickness, and we'll get into it in a second. So let's jump into our series, and let's take a look at what we're dealing with this week. All right, here we are, week 6 of the Premier Madden League. We are 2-3 at this time, and we are going up against our AFC North rivals and the division leaders, Baltimore Ravens. And as you can see from the list of the laundry list of things we have to go through, we got a lot to talk about today. First thing is the prospect spotlight, but unfortunately the draft class is not updated yet, so this is pretty much worthless. I don't know if you're supposed to click it or not. I don't know if he told you not to click it, blah blah blah. I don't really care. But that prospect spotlight is pretty much worthless at this point because we don't have the draft class yet. The commissioner's working on getting the draft class in based on, other things. So give it time. And plus, we don't have a first round pick. We don't have a second round pick. So screw the draft at this point. Maybe we'll get a pick with a trade or something, but I don't feel like we're going to trade. Game plan for elite QB. So as you know, the Baltimore Ravens have Lamar Jackson. We'll take a look at their roster in a second. They have Lamar Jackson, and it's gonna be tough to stop him. We're gonna try to negate the scrambling. If he passes, he passes. We want to keep him in the pocket. We want him throwing in the pocket. So we have to keep him under 75 rushing yards. So I'm okay with that. So we're gonna game plan on keeping him under 75 rushing yards. If he throws, he throws. Make him fit it into tight windows. Make him do all that. We just don't want him hurting us with his legs. As you know, Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. So that's going to be the goal. We get +5 play recognition for our whole defense this week. This is great. So that's going to help. Forecast, heavy rain. This works to our advantage. I think a little bit. I guess you could say we're both running teams. We're going to lose a little bit of speed, so let's do the heavy rain. We're going to do it. We're going to do it for the series. Some people don't like to do it. But we're going to run the ball, coach. We're definitely going to run the ball in a heavy rain type of situation. So that's going to... Everybody knows that. You're not going to throw the ball. Beat the Ravens, rack up 150 rushing yards. It looks like there's no minus to speed. There's none of that. It's just, they want us to set a game plan, and we're going to get extra XP if we beat the Ravens and have over 150 rushing yards. Locker room, crisis and confidence. I don't think we got this last season. We might have. All right. Hey, coach, I haven't been... Okay, so it's George Pickens. Can't really promise him. He's our third wide receiver. We run a lot of 2 wide receiver looks. We're gonna reject him because it's gonna be a run-heavy game. We can't promise him anything in this game. So this is like a bad week for us. So maybe a different week we could kind of promise him a little bit of action. Spent extra time working with receivers, +5 catching. They will all have +5 catching, +5 catching traffic. So that's actually really good. So rejected him was actually really good. Didn't hurt his morale. It actually helped out the whole team. So rejected him was really good. Now we got a breakout player. Before we click on it, I just want to take a couple of seconds. I want you guys to guess who might be that big breakout player. My guess, it's tough. It'll be funny if it's George Pickens. It'll be really, really funny if it's George Pickens. But I don't think it's George Pickens. Maybe it's Najee. Maybe Najee going from superstar to superstar XFactor. That's going to be my guess. Let's go with Najee. Najee's going to be my guess. Let's see what it is. All right, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Wow, so Minkah is got a dev game. Less than 100 passing yards, or force 3 turnovers, or Minkah gets 3 interceptions and 4 fumbles. So we have to get 3 turnovers, force fumble, a fumble, interception. We could get 3 turnovers and get this dev game. So we're actually, one second, I'm gonna take a picture of this because I'm gonna post it in chat and make sure that if we somehow get these these turnovers or these stats that we still get the superstar X Factor. So let me do that real quick and I'll hop back in. Alright, so we took a photo of it. The main thing is I don't know how this is going to affect the defensive game plan. Now we were worried about Lamar Jackson as far as him running it. Maybe we worry about the pass now because we're going to allow less than 100 passing yards. But I think 100 passing yards is really easy to get, so that's going to be tough. I think we really have to focus on the turnovers and stuff like that and see if we could get the 3 turnovers. I don't think we're going to get the 3 with just Minkah. We're going to let Minkah be Minkah. We're not going to take him out of his position to try to get him in those 3 turnovers. But maybe we could get 3 turnovers just from, good defense and stuff like that. So we'll see. That's going to be the goal, though. We got to get 3 turnovers to try to get Minkah Fitzpatrick into a superstar X Factor. That is going to be the goal. Now we got a couple plays returned from injury. It looks like we got TJ Watt. TJ Watt's finally back. This is the perfect time for him to come back. And then we got Kendrick Green, which is great because we're going to get over to our team and talk about the storylines. But first, let's take a look at the Ravens and see what we're dealing with the Ravens. All right, here we are with the Ravens. As you know, Lamar Jackson, we already had the story about him. We got to watch him. He has J.K. Dobbins, but he also likes this rookie, Zach Charbonnet. Definitely likes to hand the ball off to him. He keeps talking about this draft pick, so we got to watch him out of the backfield as well as J.K. Dobbins. He does like to run like a split 2 running back, with the 2 running backs and shotgun. He does like to run that, so we got to look for that. Everything else, I don't think he's done a lot of trading. It's pretty much the same Ravens. He has pretty high prices. Like, I know he's trying to move Miles Boykin. I know he's trying to move one of these wide receivers, not Rashad Bateman. I don't think he's trying to move Rashad Bateman or Marquise Brown, but one of these other wide receivers he's been trying to move. Mark Andrews is a really good tight end. Gonna watch him. He's got Josh Oliver as well. Taking a look at the offensive line, really good offensive line. You got Joe Staley. Actually, the offensive line is not as good. I thought he had a few bigger names there. But he's got an okay offensive line. It's definitely better than ours. But I thought there would be bigger names. Defensively, I think he runs a 3-4. He's got Matabuki. I think that's his. Tyson Bowser. Matabuki, whatever his name is. I'm probably absolutely watching that. No doubt in my mind. Defensive tackle, he's running Doug Costin. Wonder why that over Brandon Williams. I'd rather put Brandon Williams in there. But he's got Doug in there maybe for more pass rush. It makes really no sense. Brandon Williams is just a better defensive tackle. Maybe he's running a 4-3, but I doubt it because I think he runs a lot of 3-4 when we played him. Owe is somebody that's very athletic, really good, could rush the passer, could drop in coverage, so he could do a little bit of both. Then he's got Patrick Queen and another rookie that he drafted that he really likes, Nick Herbig, who slid into the middle, really good linebacker. Started off as an 82. I don't think he got a star dev or anything like that, so he might just be a solid piece, not a big name at the end of the cycle. Nick Bonito is another draft pick he has, playing that other edge. Could get after the passer, and I think he could also drop it back in coverage. So a nice little 3-4 linebacker that he drafted. Then he's got a very solid defensive backfield. Marlon Humphrey is a shutdown corner. Very fast, could keep up on anybody, could lock down anybody. He's got him second on the depth chart, but that's just because the way Madden plays. If you have him second on the depth chart, he's gonna match with number 1s a little more. If they're first on the depth chart, they're gonna take the number 2 most of the time. So that's probably why he has him there. He's got a solid defensive backfield. He's got Westry as his starter. He is taller, he is faster than Elliott, so maybe that's kind of the mindset there. Why he's got him there. Then he's got Chuck Clark as a starting strong safety. The defensive backfield beside Marlon Humphrey isn't that great. Everybody else is kind of, a borderline starter everywhere else. But when it comes to Marlon Humphrey, you definitely don't want to test him. So we're probably going to stay away from Marlon Humphrey, and we might even mess with our depth chart a little bit and put Chase Claypool number 1 and kind of run everything reverse and have Amari Cooper on a lesser corner on the other side. So we'll see how the game goes, but we're planning on running it anyway, so it shouldn't matter too much. Now let's jump over to the Steelers, and let's take a look at some of the storylines that we have to deal with. Alright, so here we are with the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you know, the first person to talk about is a quarterback. We've had our quarterback issues. We've had our quarterback battles. Right now, we got JT Daniels as a starter, even though Jared Goff was a starter to begin with. He finished with a 1-3 record. So far, JT Daniels is 1-0. So, maybe it's just an outlier game, but right now he's 1-0. We beat our divisional opponent in the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a divisional matchup, great win. He's 1-0. We're going to ride it out with JT Daniels and see how he performs moving forward. But he's going to be our starter this week. Last week when he played the Bengals, he looked good. I don't think we had one bad throw by him. We had the interception, but that was on me more so him. So I don't think he's been bad. So we're gonna rock with JT Daniels and see how he does. Moving on to the running back, we got Najee Harris, as you know. A really good game last week. Had almost 200 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He was on fire last week. Hopefully it's more of the same because this Ravens defense is not the best against the run. So hopefully it's more of the same. Jalen Samuels is our starting fullback right now. We're going to rock with him like that. Maybe we make a change moving forward. But for now, I think that's fine just to have him there. We might even go with Le'Veon because he's a good blocker for a running back. He's a very good blocker because we do block the fullback a lot when we're passing, to give us that extra blocker. So it might work out, or maybe we even put a tight end there just because we want that extra blocking. So it's a lot to think about. We decided to just go with Jalen Samuels. Jalen Samuels is going to be the starter. We'll stick with him for now. Maybe there's something that changes, but that's definitely something we're going to keep our eye on. When it comes to the wide receivers, we got Chase Claypool back. That's huge for us, so we're going to get him back into the lineup. Get him up there without messing up anything else. We might actually put him as our number 1 at this point, and just so Amari Cooper has a better matchup. But then we could have Chase Claypool take advantage of that other matchup. So, you know what? We're going to leave it like this. If he makes an adjustment and has Marlon Humphrey follow Amari Cooper, fine. But right now, we're going to have our best route runner against the worst corner of the two. So we're going to put our best route runner against his second cornerback and let Chase Claypool take on the number 1. Just a little game plan for us. We should only run 2 wide receivers, and we might even be a lot of slot formations where we have 2 wide receivers on one side of the field. We'll see exactly what happens, but that's going to be the game plan. I think he runs baseline as well, so we got to pay attention to that. Right now, we're gonna with tight end Sam Laporte. Rob Gronkowski has been great. He got a touchdown last week. Sam Laporte, our running game was a lot better with him in. Rob Gronkowski could set the edge, but Sam seemed to set the edge a little bit better. So we're going to stick with Sam for now because I think he fits the running game a little bit more, and maybe you'll see us run a lot of 2 tight end sets. So it might not be the end all be all with this situation. Moving on, offensive line, Kevin Dotson is sick. So the illness, I was going to say COVID, but the illness, because I had COVID, but the illness is running through our whole system. So we have to find a replacement, and it might be Logan Bruss. Logan Bruss might be that replacement, unless we have somebody else. We might move AJ Cann to the outside. We might even move Trey Turner to the outside because he's a better pass blocker. But we got to find somebody to replace Dotson right now. So I think the best bet is to go with Trey Turner for now. Trey Turner is gonna move outside. We gotta move him in his right guard spot right now. We're gonna put Logan Bruss up there, and then we're gonna get Trey Turner to the outside. All right, so now that we have COVID throughout the system and we lost Kevin Dotson, we're gonna rock with Trey Turner at left tackle for this week. Left guard's gonna be Kendrick Green as always. Then we're going to have AJ Cann at center, as you know. Then we got Logan Bruss, who's going to take over at that right guard spot. Unless we have somebody else that's a better run blocker that's not starting this week. Honestly, Sam Laporte is a better run blocker than Logan Bruss. Let's see, do we have anybody that we rather put there? Honestly, we don't really have anybody that we rather put in that situation. So we're going to rock with Logan Bruss at right guard. He filled in for Kendrick Green. It wasn't really the best situation for the team, but we got to rock with what we got to rock with. We got injuries, we got illness, so we got to rock with it. Brandon Linder is going to be that right tackle, as you know, so that's fine. Defense. Stephon Tuitt was solid last week. He might be on the move because the contract talks aren't really working so far. He might be on the move. We might just re-sign him and keep him and roll with what we got. Right end, we got Cameron Hayward. As you know, he's probably going to be a lifer for the Steelers, so we're probably not going to move him and let have him until the wheels fall off. Defensive tackle Jordan Davis has been playing pretty solid. Hasn't been a world beater, but has been doing his job, so we like it. And then T'Vondre Sweat hasn't really gone in the last game. Maybe he'll start to get in a little more. But we like where the defense is going. It was a solid week last week. A lot of turnovers, solid defense. So we're happy about that. TJ Watt is a huge news. He's back with us. Having him back is going to be huge for the defense. Definitely going to help overall with everything. So him back is great. Then we have Devin Bush in the middle. Peyton Wilson, who's been phenomenal. I think he had 2 picks last week. He's been absolutely phenomenal for us. So we're happy to have him. It's been one of the better changes we made as a coach. Then on the other side, we have Samson Ubakam. Definitely want to roll with him. We might not see a lot of Frank Clark this game. We might not see a lot of Jeremiah Moon. We're going to roll with people that are a little more athletic. You know, we can't sit TJ Watt, even though he's not as athletic. We can't sit TJ Watt just because of how valuable he is. But we can roll with Ubakam at that other outside linebacker. He's not as fast, but with him on a contain, I feel a little bit better than Frank Clark, who's a little slower and stuff like that. So we expect a lot of contains this week. You might even put Ulysses Gilbert in. Actually, that might be the change we make right now. He's not that much more athletic. You know what? We're gonna rock with Ubakam for now, and then if we have to make the change in game, we'll make the change in game. But definitely want to make sure we're keeping Lamar Jackson in the pocket. You might even see us running a lot of nickel, run a lot of dime, just to have a cornerback out there that could potentially keep up with him. He's still faster than all our cornerbacks, so that's the funny part about it. He's still faster than all of our cornerbacks. When it comes to the quarterbacks specifically, right now we got Bradley Roby, Amon Gardner, and Justin Lane. We've been liking the way they're playing. We moved Bradley Roby into the slot corner. He's been playing great. Amar Gardner and Justin Lane have been holding down the outside, so it's been great so far. We'll see how they do this week. We have a tougher test in the Ravens than we did with the Bengals. Minkah Fitzpatrick, as you know, has the dev game. Hopefully, we could get him some turnovers. That's going to be the key. Get him some turnovers and get turnovers as a team as a whole, because 3 turnovers, we get an XFactor. So just got to get the turnovers. We might even turn on aggressive tackling. We might do what we got to do and try to get these turnovers as much as possible. Strong safety Terrell Edmonds has been playing great recently, playing more of himself. We've been getting him into the right positions. So it's been nice to see him thrive a little bit. So we're gonna rock with this defense the way it's been. I think it's been playing really good last game. So hopefully this game it's more of the same. But that's pretty much it for storylines. Now let's jump into the game and see how we do against the Ravens. All right, everybody. So here we are. We just took on the Baltimore Ravens and we come out with a win. Huge win in the division. The Baltimore Ravens are the reigning AFC North champs. So coming in and beating them, I believe we were in Pittsburgh. Were we in Pittsburgh? Yeah. Is the home team on the right? Whatever. I think we were in Pittsburgh. Coming out with a win is huge. Last season, the Ravens pretty much ran away with the division. We didn't have a good season this season. We're 3-3 now. Had a tough start, but we're starting to put it together a little bit on defense, so that's good. Just taking a look at the team stats. Obviously, we won 54-30. 51 to 34. Total yards, we had 585. We had 374 rushing yards, which was huge. Passing yards, only 211. He had 284. First downs, we had punt return yards. None of that matters. Turnovers, we were +1. So we won the turnover battle. That was huge as well. Third down conversions, we were 5 for 7. So we did our job there. We had 1 for 1 on 2-point conversions. Red zone, we were 6 for 6. We didn't have any turnovers. We made sure we got points. Every red zone, we had 5 touchdowns in the red zone, 1 red zone field goal. We had a few penalties from kicking it out of bounds. It was 17-mile-per-hour winds. Crazy game. Rain, 17-mile-per-hour winds. It worked to our advantage because we're more of a run-heavy team. They, for some reason, didn't run it as much. So just player stats real quick. We'll do both teams. Lamar Jackson had 4 interceptions. We had a dev game with Minka, if you remember. We ended up getting it because we needed 3 turnovers or other things, and we got the 3 turnovers. So that was huge. JT Daniels, 218 yards, 0 touchdowns, but 1 interception. But now he's 2-0 as a starter. We care about the win-loss. We don't care about the stats so much. He has 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions on his career as a starter, but he's 2-0. That's all that matters to me. Rushing the story, Najee Harris, 25 attempts, 316 yards, 12 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns, no fumbles. He was a monster. Then Suwu, the guy we picked up, 6'3", 240, another big back. He had 8 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown, so he got involved. We also got a rushing touchdown from JT Daniels, and we got a rushing touchdown from Kellen Balaj. So our run game was on full throttle in this game, which was good, and which led to the victory. Mark Andrews had 6 for 128. We had 5 for 75 with Amari Cooper. We had 2 for 16 with Jalen Samuels, 2 for 45 with Chase Claypool. Sam Laporte, 2 for 30, and then George Pickens, 1 for 22. 1 for 21 with Rob Gronkowski, a nice little catch he had there. So we had a solid game receiving. We were 15 for 19, so we didn't just run the ball. We had 19 throwing attempts, and we had 1 interception, but we had 15 completions. Defensively, very good game from our defense. Tackles for loss, sacks. We had one sack. It was a half a sack for Ubakam and Tuitt. And that was pretty much it. We weren't really worried about sacks. We were containing on every play. Every play was a contain. Contain, unless we were blitzing. Devin Bush had 2 interceptions. We had 1 with Terrell Edmonds. Nick Benito had that 1 interception. We didn't think he would get there, but he made a good play, changed direction, and got there. So a good play by him. Minka had 1 interception as well. So we got the 3 turnovers we needed. He had 2 forced fumbles. One, I didn't think they were both. Oh, see, yeah, one was for our offensive guy, Jarrett Patterson on an interception. We ended up getting a forced fumble. He ended up scoring on it too. So we got the interception. We got hit for a fumble. He picked it up with Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews took it in for a touchdown. He actually got spotted 14 points on 2 fumble sixes. So 1 was on offense, 1 was on defense. The one on defense was Jalen Samuels. We hit him on a flat, and then he got licked by. So we got licked by Tavon Young. 5'9", 185. Tavon Young forced a fumble on Jalen Samuels, who's 6 foot 225. So that makes a lot of sense. Chuck Clark ended up picking it up, took it to the end zone for a touchdown. So that was 6 points. We spotted them. But let's go into the film room and take a look at some of those plays. All right, so here we are with the first play we're going to show you. Right now it's about 10 to 7 right now. We're up by 3. We just forced the punt. Our defense held up a little bit. You know, the first drive wasn't too good. He went down easy. He scored easy. But we forced the punt. And on this play, we're going to give the ball to Najee Harris. He's running like 3 down linemen. We came up to this play and we were like, all right, we're going to throw it here because coming up to the line, we were like, we're going to throw it. But then I saw this look and I was like, all right, there's no way we're not running it. He has 3 down linemen. He's in like a dime look. I mean, like we got to run it here, right? We got the numbers. We got the heavy set out. It made no sense, his play call. So we end up running it to the outside. Najee Harris cuts upfield, and he's pretty much going to have all kinds of daylight. Somebody comes close, but nobody's really going to catch him. A good little run there. Good blocking, good run. We see a great block by Sam Laporte in the second level, making sure that Najee could take it into the end zone. So a huge touchdown. That puts us up 17 to 7, gives us a 2-score lead. Now let's see what else we got for some highlights that we could break down. All right, so this is a huge play. This is a huge play. We're up 17 to 7 at this point, and we're driving once again. We just forced another punt. Our defense is playing phenomenal against this Ravens high-powered Ravens offense. They have a really good offense with Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, and Rashad Bateman, who's come along pretty strong, and Mark Andrews is a great tight end. So we're driving. We got a chance to go up 24 to 7 at this point. We're driving pretty nicely. We're gonna run a little play action here. It might have been play action. It might not have been. I think it was. So we're gonna run a little play action, fake the handoff, and you see his whole defensive backfield bail out. Everybody bails out. Everybody pretty much bails out. So our read is on the right hand side. We're looking at a high-low. We got Chase Claypool clearing on a streak. We got a corner by Sam Laporte, and we got a flat by Jalen Samuel. Once we see everybody bail, we're like, all right, we're going to hit this flat real quick. Boom. Hit the flat. He catches it. A couple steps later, he gets a lick from Tavon, I forgot his name. Tavon, the corner. Let's see if we could get his name on the back of his... Tavon Young. So we get hit by Tavon Young. He forces a fumble. Jalen Samuels puts the ball on the ground. He's going to pick it up. And unfortunately, nobody's able to catch him. Sam Laporte was the closest one. He's not able to catch him. And Chuck Clark is going to take it into the end zone. So this is a 7-point swing. Instead of us going up 24 to 7, now it's 17 to 14, and he's within 3. So it was a tough score, but it wasn't the end of the game. So we had to bounce back. So let's take a look at the another big play that happened in this game. So this is actually a really huge play. Right now, the score is 17 to 14. He got the ball back. We weren't able to put any more points on the board. He's got the ball back here in the second half. This is his first drive, so this is a huge play. What's going to happen here? I think I called a cover 3 match, or even a cover 3 or a cover 6, something like that. I think I called a match coverage. And actually, it looks like it's going to be yeah, it is a match coverage. So we match up. We're playing this user right here. So we're just reading the routes. And as you can see, he's got a guy wide open on a little curl here right off the line. So we're like reading this. We sprint to it. We're able to get in front of it. And Devin Bush comes up with a big interception, and that was able to put on pressure to the Baltimore Ravens and give us the ball back. Especially if we score, we're able to go up 24 to 14 at this point. So this was a huge interception by Devin Bush, and definitely set us up in good field position, especially with the way we've been able to run the ball in this game. So let's take a look at another play that was pretty big with the outcome. So here we are, another big play by our defense. As you can see, we're in a cover 3 shell. I think we might have called cover 3 match again. Seemed like he struggled against cover 3. Actually, this might have been the cover 1. Yeah, this was the cover 1 interception. So we called it cover 1. Keep the same cover 3 shell. Make them think match, make them think zone. Keep them confused. So we're running a cover 1 here, and he's gonna try to run that red zone scissors route by the running back. So everybody runs this. We weren't really prepared for it. We're not user in this. We have just Terrell Edmonds is matched up one-on-one on his running back. So right now, 23 to 21, his offense is on the field. As you can see, we're calling a cover 1. Everybody gets their man. He's going to try to hit this corner out over here. Let's see if we can get on the ball. So we're on the ball. He tries to hit this corner out. Terrell Edmonds undercuts it for a big interception, giving us the ball back to put on some pressure. We could go up by a score here. And he's going to take it all the way down inside the 30. So that sets us up in good field position. And we're able to put on some more pressure. So at this point, 23 to 21, this is a huge interception. Now let's go take a look at another big play that happened in this game. So there was a lot of big plays by the defense. You're going to see a lot of defense. So this is another big play by the defense. Right now, it is 38 to 28 after Najee Harris had a 66-yard run that was capped off by Kellen Balaj with a 9-yard run. This is a huge play here. We're running, I think we ran a cover 3 zone this time. So we're running a cover 2 shell, but it's a cover 3 zone out of that cover 2 shell. So as you can see, we have a guy that comes up, and he's going to try to hit his tight end, I believe, or his running back. And what happens is Minka reads that. Minka comes out and intercepts that for a huge interception that gives us the ball back, and we're able to put on some more pressure. So huge interception by Minka Fitzpatrick, and I think this was a third one. This might have been the third, or maybe even the fourth. I think it was the third. This is the third interception, so that was the one that sealed his X factor. So it's nice for Minka to get that to seal his X factor. So he's going to be X factor for us moving forward, and that was a huge pick in this game to really help us put on pressure. All right, so right after the interception, this is another huge play. We got Najee Harris in the backfield. We're running a inside zone to the right, and he's got a solid defense. I mean, I think he's running dime out of this, honestly. It looks like dime, because that looks like he's got a defensive back there on the right-hand side. He's got a defensive back, obviously, on the outside. That looks like a defensive back, and this looks like a defensive back. These two guys are covering nothing right now. Right now, they're worthless. These two guys are pretty much worthless. So we're going to give the ball off to Najee Harris in this situation, just like we've been doing all game. We got no pressure on us. I believe it was 38-28 here after that interception. So we hand the ball off to Najee Harris. He's going to have nothing but room. Marlon Humphrey's not involved in the play. As you can see, he's on the outside. He's going to chase him down. We get to the outside. We break one tackle. One guy misses as we break that tackle. And then nobody's going to catch him. He's going to take it all the way into the end zone. So this makes the score 45-28. So this puts us up by 3 scores, which is huge, and adds a lot more pressure on this team. What a run by Najee Harris. I definitely don't agree with the personnel he was matching, especially when we were going big. I'll take a look. We'll see if there's another big play I got to show you. If not, we're going to hop over to the post game and see if the game awards the dev for us, or if we have to go through the league to get the dev. There was no other big plays. That was the final big play. The other plays really didn't matter, but we come out with a win 51-34. So a huge win for us, especially within the division. And as you can see, we got pretty much everything we were looking for as franchise goals. So this is huge. We're gonna get an additional player to do weekly as far as focus training. So that's gonna be huge. All right, so here we are. Game plan for Elite QB. I don't know if we got this. Did he have 75 rushing yards? I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he did. So we got that perfect. 2,500 XP for the whole entire defense. TJ Watt will have his X factor unlocked for the entire game next game. That is awesome. And his X. So I wonder how this works, because his X factor is selfless. So does that mean my whole defense is going to be lit up the entire game just because his X factor is lit up the entire game? Oh my lord. I don't know if that's the way it's going to happen, but that is funny as hell if it happens that way. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's exactly what happens. So the X Factor might be lit up all game, and the whole team's X Factor might be lit up all game. But we got plenty of more to talk about. We got the rain game performance. We did good on that. Who do we credit most? You know what? Let's credit the offensive line, because maybe it gives them XP. Maybe it gives them XP. So if we could get XP for the offensive line. All right, so perfect. +3 run block power, run block finesse for the next game. Run block power and run block finesse seem like a placebo in this game, so I don't know how I feel about that. View message of the breakout player. Are we going to get this breakout? Football is similar, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. X Factor. And now it can use a zone ability, so it's great. So let's see what he gets for an X Factor. We're going to take a look at that to see exactly what he has for an X Factor. And we got 4,000 XP for all our defensive backs. So we got 6,500 XP for just defensive backs. So first, let's go take a look at Minka and see what he got for an X Factor. Alright, so here we are with Minka, and he got universal coverage as his X Factor, which is really nice. We'll see what it does for us moving forward. But having universal coverage, he's going to get more knockouts and coverage. So this is great. We'll see how it works, and we'll see if it makes our defense even better. I doubt that it makes it any worse. But that's great to have. So we'll see what happens next week when we take on the Miami Dolphins. But hopefully, with TJ Watt being active all game, that means everybody else is active, and that'll be really good for our defense. But that's pretty much going to do it for us today. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we will catch you next time on Here We Go.